Hi, welcome to Sister Strong, a video and podcast series all about possible. I am your host, Betsy Wiersma. The goal of this series is just to introduce you to people, places, things, ideas, education, inspiration as we stand together, Sister Strong, for health and happiness. These are ideas for your toolkit, so try them on and see if they work for you. Today on the show, on the podcast and video, is a longtime camp sponsor, a wonderful friend, and the woman that changed my life forever by helping me embrace my curls, Maree Chavez. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hi. Well, hello from home, and it looks like a home on the scene, home in your bathroom.
Yes.
See? Not too many shows go live to a bathroom is what I'm saying.
Just setting up in the bathroom, I was like, I never really have spent this much time in the bathroom like this. So,
well, that's right. You have a very clean and beautiful bathroom, I might say.
Yeah, and the lighting is really nice too.
Yeah. So Maree owns the Hair People. I wanted you to get to know her a little bit. So let's talk a little bit about you and your business, and not only just how you are today, but the great legacy you have with your business and growing up in that. And then we're going to do some tips for hair, and everyone is yelling online in our groups, how do I cut my bangs? So many of those tips and secrets we're going to just try to go over today. So Maree, tell everybody a little bit about you and your business.
Okay, so the name of my salon is Hair People, and it's located on 6th and Columbine. And my dad started it in the 70s, actually in 1976. And both my parents worked at the salon. And when I was little, I went to elementary school about a block away from the salon. And so after school, I would just come and visit my parents and hang out there. And when I was 11, I decided that's what I was going to do for the rest of my life. So it's been a part of my heart and a part of my family for as long as I can remember. And this has been a big change, not being at work. I've always worked, and so this is an unusual experience for me.
Well, I want to paint the picture. So if you were not in Maree's bathroom, if you were in the Hair People on 6th Avenue, you would be walking into this beautifully decorated, painted with a beautiful new color, I might point out, with fabulous art by some local Colorado artists. It's got lots of character with wooden, neat antique furniture and cool antique lamps on the different places where all the different ladies work. And it's just got an amazing vibe, just so friendly and welcoming and warm, and then a beautiful array. So if we were walking in the front, beautiful glass window, you would see some delicious snacks and coffee and tea waiting for you. Then you would look to a wall of fabulous product that is there to serve, see her beautiful setup of all of her girls, and be ready to be treated and pampered like a princess. So that's how it normally is. And now back to the bathroom.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so Maree, take us through some things, because you know, me as someone who colors her hair, okay, the secret is out. I recently have been in, as you can see, because my hair is looking really fairly dark and not too much gray. But talk about some things that people might need to do if they cannot see their stylist for a little while in this time of difference, as I like to call it.
Well, I have emailed a lot of our clients just to get that feedback and just find out what people are having challenges with. And I would say there's two things. One is, how do I cut my own bangs, or how do I cut my own hair? And then, of course, color. And so, you know, it's hard to recommend a drugstore product because I don't have a lot of experience with that. So my first recommendation is just to be patient and just try and hang in there. My second recommendation would be to, if you can find something online that you can order and be brought to you to your home, and so you don't have to go out, I would recommend anything that's temporary, be it a hair color spray, there's powders, there's products that you can use in your hair. If you're mixing two products together, a developer and a color, you're mixing them together, then it's going to be permanent. So even if it says semi-permanent or demi-permanent, it's still going to open the cuticle and get into your hair. So be careful of that. So I would just say my recommendation is to be patient and hang in there as far as the color goes. Bangs, I can help you with today.
All right. Well, and I would just say too, I want to do a testimonial that there are great things. You may not be set up to do online commerce. I know you sell all this in the shop, but they're great sprays, and I've seen a lot of them that you can get that are temporary and they really stay in until you wash your hair. And I really do also like the kind that looks almost like eyeshadow, and you can
Yeah.
just paint it on, super easy. Um, really works great. I always have that, kind of between colors. So that I would say, as someone who's, invested time and energy and money into being sure my hair is well taken care of and colored, I would tell all of you, don't dive into a box of scary that you don't know, because you can't run in and get your orange hair changed tomorrow back. So I would really emphasize that there's those sprays, and the powders are super great and work really, really well. So
Yeah.
those are fun.
And on that note, it's interesting because when I used to color my hair and I didn't have my sprays with me, in a pinch, and if you say if you're having to be on a call or on video of some sort and you just don't have anything, you can actually use eyeshadow.
Great
So
idea.
yeah, so if you want to mix some blush, like in Betsy's case, she could mix a brown eyeshadow with a little bit of blush to give it a little bit of warmth. And just where you see the hair, so just in your part or maybe in your hairline, you can just kind of, in a pinch, you can actually use eyeshadow.
Oh, see, another great tip. Okay. All right, let's talk about cutting our hair and taking care of our bangs.
Yes, okay, so I have my lovely friend here, and I want to keep this as simple and as straightforward as possible. I would say the number one danger zone, like the red flag area, is to get into areas of your hair where it's not considered bang. So you're getting too much into the side panel of your hair versus the actual front bang area. So I wanted to explain how to section off your hair. Um, so can you see this okay, Betsy?
Yes, it looks great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody has like an area of recession. So in her case, and that means when your hairline is kind of the furthest part where your hair goes back. So you want to be above that area of recession when you make your first party. So if you get into this part of your hair, that's when you have like this overhang of bang, and it's not really considered your bang. It just looks like this chunk of side hair that doesn't belong. So you really want to make sure that you're staying in the front part of your face and not the side. So that's a good landmark, is right above the recession. And then you make a little rainbow, so it's a U shape from that top of recession, rainbow to the other side. And then by looking from this angle, you'll see that it's just a little, doesn't have to be perfect, just a little U shape. Now, if your hair is thicker, you would want to divide that into maybe 2 or 3 and pull this section back, and then just kind of bring down that first section first and then do it in stages. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, so that's really important, is just to get the parting, and then you want to pin the rest of the hair out of the way, and then no mistakes will be made. Another tip is to, everybody blow dries their hair a certain way. So if you tend to blow dry your hair and you like it to be swept to a certain angle, you want to blow dry your hair the way you normally would when your hair is wet and before you cut. And then ever so slightly, you would mist it. So it's going in the direction already in how you style your hair. And so it just flows better once you've cut it. So say if you were to just blow dry your hair straight down and then cut it, when you actually style it, it's going to it's not going to flow with you quite as easily.
Got it.
Got it. Okay. So my first example, and I'm not going to cut, just so I can show you several techniques. My first example is if you like to have your bangs shorter in the center and then framing down at an angle. Right. So it goes from short to long. This is how you would cut it. So you would gather all of your hair, make sure it's all combed out. Take your nose is your landmark. you take it and twist it, and you would cut right above your fingers, straight across. And when you let go, it just magically will be shorter in the center and then just angle down this way. So that's a really beautiful
really
technique
cool.
and you'll see, I mean, it's like magic. So I would always err on the longer side, of course, because you can't put your hair back. But you can do it in stages, maybe practice the first time and then just kind of work your way up to the length that you want. My second technique would be, again, to find, you want to have see-through partings because you're doing it yourself. You want to be able to see, you know, where you're cutting. So your landmark is your nose. And you would just take a very, very slight bit of hair as your guide and just snip that. And then you would kind of establish where you want that hair to fall. And then if you wanted to do a straight across bang, you would do straight across this way, snip, 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 and then snip, snip, snip. And that would be just a straight down bang. My third recommendation, if you like a wispier, or what I like to say, like a chewed upon bang, you would take that first little piece, establishing where you want it to land. A finer section would be easier. And your scissors are parallel to your hair, and it's coming exactly where it's coming from your scalp is where you want to angle your scissors and your hair. And then you would just chew upon it like that. And that creates a little bit more of a chewier, and you would just work around the whole bang area, this side, and just take little sections at a time and just pinch it and chew on it all the way across. And that gives your hair a nice textured, chewy, not just a blunt cut. And again, just, you know, make sure that you're getting the right length first.
Okay, and if you have a side bang, like I'm looking at your bang is not straight and not in the middle, you have a side bang. How would you do it differently if you were working from apart and like having a cross bang?
Well, what I do with my own hair is I'll establish where my parting is, and I'll make that the shortest piece, and I do it the chewy way. So I'll just take it's usually like the center of my eye where my guide is, and I'll cut that in my pinch method. So cut that, and then I'll work my way down at an angle, and then I'll just kind of go longer as I go down the side. And then here, same thing, it's always at an angle. And so you just take, and there's always these little wispies that you can just clean away afterward, but you can start to see that you're drawing that line. A nice angle.
Awesome.
Yeah, and so you can set that part wherever you want. It could be a really deep set part over here. It could be a little off center, but that's always going to be your first cut. Wherever you part it, that's where you establish the shortest piece, and then you kind of work your way.
And will you pull your bangs down just for fun and show us what the shape of I was thinking of your personal bangs, yeah. Just so people can kind of see that. There you go. Because again, you know, I think you know like about length, and people, you don't want to be cutting up above those eyebrows. There you go. That's really helpful. Awesome.
And here's my guideline right here.
Yeah. Awesome. That is so helpful. That is so awesome. Well, okay. So is there anything else when you're thinking about people? So some of us, you know, are too chicken wear bangs. We know that about me. I keep my bangs really long like this so I can tuck them. If you don't have bangs, but if you would just, you know, you're at home, your hair's feeling a little frumpy, is there any last kind of at-home tips or fun, you know, homemade things you could do in the shower, or great things to put on your hair if you have time to let it on there? I know you have so many great products, you know, that either strip or they're a mask or they're a mousse, you know, but I'm putting you really on the spot to kind of go back through your hair thought process. But, you know, what's good to do for your hair now that we have a little bit of time, and we're home?
Yeah, yeah, that's a great question, and I actually have taken advantage of this time. So I was cleaning out all of my bathroom cabinets, and I found all sorts of old products that I had, some old deep conditioners, even just a regular daily conditioner. Whatever you find, you can mix them all together and just kind of come up with your own smorgasbord of deep conditioner, but just put it in your hair, comb it through, all the way through, so that it's from scalp to ends. Wrap it up on top of your head and just let it sit in there all day long. It just feels so good. And when do you ever have time to do that? Never. I never did.
Nice.
Yeah, and you could put a piece of plastic wrap from the kitchen, just wrap it up and then put a towel over it, a hot towel, and just sit with it for a couple hours if you like. But I took my hair down, and today's the first day I've blow dried it in 2 weeks, I think. Yeah. And it just feels so healthy and so good. So it's kind of nice also to just give your hair a break.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, because, so many times, like, especially with our curly hair, it is not good to wash it every single day. And with curly dews, as lots of times, we get day 2, day 3 even out of them. And as that one lady taught that you had as a guest, she never washed her hair. She always just kind of added products back in. That's pretty extreme. But I do think that this is the time we're giving you all permission to just be good to yourself and be good to your hair, and not be too hung up about the brand of the product, because if you have it, it works for a while. 1 or 2 times wrapped up on your head's not going to hurt you. And it's really exciting to do something special for us. Well, tell everybody right now, they can't make an appointment, but tell everybody, because very soon, as we get back to normal, people are going to get to go to the Hair People. And I was trying to see if you can see some of my beautiful highlight tinsel type beautiful accents that I always get at the Hair People. And
yes.
Here's one over here. Tell everybody on how to find you.
How to find us. Okay, well, the one thing that we are doing right now is I'm really trying to stay in touch with people through our Facebook page. So that's where I'll post all of our informative bang trims, and I think Brittany is even going to do a do-it-yourself root touch-up at home tutorial, and I plan on doing a haircut on my husband Matt, and just explaining how to do that. So that's a great place to get that kind of information, and any updates with the salon as far as when we're going to start taking appointments. It'll all be on Facebook.
Okay, so that is on Facebook, Hair People, correct? That's the name of your page?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then just give them your website, just because sometimes people like to go and see the website.
Yes, it's hairpeopledenver.com.
There you go, hairpeopledenver.com. Well, as you can see, Maree is a vast amount of knowledge. Thank you so much for cleaning up your bathroom and going in there for this very special first ever podcast from a bathroom. We're going to mark that in history. Thank you so much for opening up your heart to serve the world and your sisters, and to answer the questions we all have. How will we cut our bangs, and how will we help our part as we stand sister strong? And thank you for everyone who's watching or listening to Sister Strong, the podcast and video series. We are here with education, inspiration, ideas, great connections, how-to haircut tips. But really, we're here with a heart to serve all of us as we stand together for health and happiness. Please share this with anyone you know that's looking for tips, ideas, inspiration, connection, a big virtual hug, a great place to come show up at a meeting or event online, because we are open for business and we're open to serve. Thanks for listening. Please share this. And I'm your host, Betsy Wiersma. Thank you, Maree.
You're welcome. Thank you.